Chapter 1: The Insight or the Illusion of It. Tuesday, 12:05 p.m. The lunch table, a small circle of steel and laminate in the sprawling Emailwise cafeteria, was an island of ritual in a sea of corporate flux. Rohit, having finished his disciplined portion of grilled chicken and quinoa, was the first to arrive, his audiobook already paused. Richard slid into the chair opposite, phone in hand, a half-eaten sandwich beside it. "I swear, Nova is going to give me an ulcer," Richard began, not looking up from his screen. "I asked it to explore new revenue streams for my team's feature set. It came back in 20 minutes with a deck that was 90% of the way there." My manager was thrilled. "Me? I'm wondering what my job is anymore." Rohit allowed a small smile. As one of Nova's creators, he'd heard this before. "It reminds me of that scene in I, Robot, where the robots are taking over and Will Smith's character is the only one who sees the danger. We wanted to build a tool to augment us, but did we accidentally build our replacement?" Richard looked up, his frustration palpable. "It's brilliant, but it's unnerving." It suggested 3 new revenue models, complete with market sizing and projected LTV. But it completely missed the nuance. It can't talk to users. It can't understand the hesitation in their voice when they talk about privacy, or the excitement when they stumble on an unarticulated need. Sarah, who had approached the table just in time to hear Richard's lament, slid into a chair. She took a long pause. "Oh, you think that's the problem?" "The problem isn't that it's missing the nuance. The problem is that management doesn't care about the nuance. They see a 90% solution delivered in 20 minutes, and they call it a win. They'll take the efficiency gains and ignore the insight gap every single time. Your job, my job, is to be the human shield that protects the user from our own brilliant, idiotic creation." Hung, who had been quietly eating his noodles, looked up. He spoke with the precision of a surgeon. "The model is a reflection of its training data. It is optimized for speed and pattern recognition, not for empathy. We trained it on millions of data points of market reports and user surveys, but we did not train it on the subtleties of human interaction. Therefore, it cannot be expected to replicate them. It is a tool, and like any tool, its usefulness is determined by the skill of the user." "But that's just it, Hung," Sarah countered, her voice rising with a passion that turned heads at the next table. "We're not being judged on our skill as users. We're being judged on our ability to keep up with the machine. It's a race, and the finish line keeps moving. We're all just hamsters in a wheel, and the wheel is getting faster and faster." Richard, ever the entrepreneur, saw a different angle. "So what if we lean into that? What if we build a service on top of Nova, a human-in-the-loop consultancy? We use Nova for the 90% solution, and then we, the humans, provide the last 10% of insight and nuance. We could sell it as a premium service. AI-powered insights, human-verified wisdom." Rohit chuckled. "You never stop, do you, Richard? Always the next big thing." He leaned back, a thoughtful expression on his face. "But you're not wrong. The future isn't man versus machine. It's man with machine. The question is, what does that look like in practice? And how do we convince the people who sign our paychecks that the human element is still worth paying for?" The conversation hung in the air, a question with no easy answer. The cafeteria buzzed around them, a symphony of 1,000 other conversations, 1,000 other anxieties and ambitions. For a moment, the 4 of them were silent, each lost in their own thoughts, a small team of rivals and collaborators, bound together by the strange, brilliant, and terrifying future they were building.